Shalom, family. Sorry it took me so long to get in. I had connectivity problems on my end. I don't think it was StreamYard. I think it was my Comcast. So I am here, and we're going to get into this story on New Orleans Police Department. So I'm going to show you a video first, and then we'll really get into this. Okay, let's see here. See if I can. Okay, before I get started, please give me a 1 if you can see the screen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. All right. All right. Let me go ahead and play this video. Make sure I got the sound on.
My concern is that how do we begin to communicate and collaborate so that we can take care of the men and women who are on the force?
It's part of an ongoing issue, according to city leaders.
We all know the facilities have been run down. Last year, it was so hot that we had to close the building. Sometimes it's so cold that our offices and the rank at headquarters can't even occupy the building.
Chief Administrative Officer Gilbert Montano says the current building where NOPD is housed is eroding, and the cost to maintain and upgrade police headquarters costs more than what they are paying on the lease.
The approach the administration has taken is really just one bite at a time. We understand that there is a holistic plan and perspective for the Criminal Justice Center, we wanted to ensure that we at least have our police department and our headquarters located temporarily.
Montano says the new lease for NOPD would last 10 years inside the downtown tower building. He also said around $250,000 is how much it might cost for the build out of the new NOPD.
In all honesty, I foresee that most of the criminal justice agencies will probably have to be temporarily housed, because as we continue to address these old decrepit buildings, it's just going to get worse and worse. So I imagine you're going to see similar situations where we may have to temporarily lease space as we eventually build a finalization for the future.
Some council members said they were left out of the decision-making process when it came to major details like choosing the location.
Hopefully moving forward, there'll be a level of transparency and communication and cooperation so we can collaborate at the highest level.
And the conditions of the property room also became a hot topic during the Criminal Justice Committee meeting.
I want you to see the tray of all of the
roaches.
Major rodents on the floor, the cockroaches, the rats eating our marijuana. They're all high. Just the incredible, the fact that officers have nowhere to use a restroom.
Hi, can I bring my...
That is crazy. That is crazy, y'all. It is crazy that they allowed it to get that far out of hand. And so it's not just rats. You know, you heard the superintendent at the end. She was saying, no, it's not just rats. It's also roaches. Ugh. Ugh. I don't see how they can work in there, but they do. And it just goes to show you, y'all, we would call this a plague, right? A biblical plague. The police department is hit with a plague of roaches and rodents. And if you remember, it must have been either last year or 2022, I did a story on a police department that was hit with bed bugs. And the cops were literally on the job getting bit. And they were sucking the blood out of these cops while they were working with bed bugs. So I don't know. How do you keep anybody in jail for marijuana and the evidence got eaten up by the rats? So you no longer have any evidence. And, you know, there was another article that was saying they weren't just eating the marijuana, they were eating also other drugs they had in the evidence room. So those rats are having a good time. They're in there eating and getting high. I wonder if they get the munchies too, you know, like people do when they get high. The rats get the munchies. I mean, that is crazy. But from what they're saying, this place has been infested for quite some time. You know, this is nothing new, but that's a plague on these cops. It's a plague. All right. So, rats infesting New Orleans police headquarters are high. They said these rats are high all the time. I wonder if they're just coming all out in the open, because usually if you got mice and rats, they'll go somewhere and hide if people come in the room, you know? They'll still be there, but they'll usually hide. I wonder if, you know, they're not hiding at all. They're just all out in the open because they are high, you know? And they're saying they're in the evidence room. In fact, they're everywhere. And they're eating the marijuana. Well, to them, it's like eating a plant. You know what I mean? It's probably just like eating a plant. So the New Orleans Police Department headquarters is dealing with an unusual pest infestation. According to authorities, rats have infiltrated the evidence room at the headquarters and are all high off of the marijuana being held there. NOPD Superintendent Annie Kilpatrick reported to the city council Criminal Justice Committee on Monday. The rats are eating everything. And this is what she told USA Today, and they're all high. The superintendent added that NOPD headquarters has a rodent and cockroach infestation, leading to poor working conditions, including rodent feces on police desks and dangerous maintenance issues. Yeah, because they carry disease. When we say we value our employees, you can't say that and at the same time allow people to work in conditions that are not acceptable, Kilpatrick continued. The superintendent added that people wishing to join the police force should avoid visiting the headquarters, as seeing these conditions would be a huge turnoff. Kilpatrick's account name following for the police headquarters, they're talking about a temporary relocation downtown at a high rise building for the next 10 years until the permanent space is found. So they're talking about getting rid of this building altogether because it's old, and I guess parts of it is dilapidated. I'm surprised that it has not been shut down by the city. Usually they don't let you stay in those kind of buildings, not unless it still can pass inspection. I don't know. After Kilpatrick shared details about the infestation plaguing the police headquarters, city council members voted to approve a 10-year lease agreement for a move to a new building costing $670,000 per month. Wow, that's a lot of money per month. Wow. According to the chief administrative officer, the move costs less than it would be to repair the current headquarters. The poor conditions of the New Orleans police headquarters goes as far as back as 15 years. They said it's been bad in that building for 15 years. Wow. Wow. It is not just the police headquarters, it's all districts. The uncleanliness is off the chart. Oh my goodness, all of their police precincts are infested in New Orleans. Wow. She said it's the headquarters and all of the precincts are all badly infested. The janitorial clean team deserves an award for trying to clean what is uncleanable. Wow. Yeah, because I mean, it's not like they're exterminators. They can't get rid of those things. So I foresee most of the criminal justice agencies will have to be temporarily housed as we address these old, decrepit buildings. Kilpatrick added to WWL TV per CBS, where you work, where you live, if it's not appropriate, it's not going to always impact morale. So that has been a big factor. Ugh, so they've been working in squalor. Oh man. I could not handle that, y'all. If I was on my job, I could not hear the sound of rats running all over the place while I'm trying to work. I absolutely would not be able to do it. And roaches on top of that. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Mm-mm. But you know what, y'all? When you sit back and think about this, the police, they deserve it. They deserve it. I bet you the New Orleans police is treating the black residents down there like crap. So they're in the situation that they really truly deserve. Mm-mm-mm. In order for it to be overran like that, it had to be going on for quite some time. You know, this did not just happen recently. It must have been going on for quite some time. Yeah, well, brother Sly, it seems like these rats don't want donuts, they want marijuana. They don't want them, they don't want them donuts. They don't want the donuts. Maybe the roaches do, because they're infested with roaches too. Maybe the roaches want the donuts, but those rats, they want the marijuana. They ain't fooling with no donut. Hmm. Well, that's coming out of the taxpayers' pocket, right? They got to pay $670,000 a month to move to a high rise, and that's going to come out of all of the New Orleans taxpayers' pocket down there. That's where it's going to come from. Hmm. I don't know, y'all. You may not want them cops approaching you. They may have roaches on their clothes or rats. I mean, have any of you had a visit from a police officer and a rat or a roach got left behind? They left a rat or roach behind and you didn't know where the hell it came from? Mm-mm-mm. I wouldn't even call them. But yeah, there was another story I did similar to this, but it wasn't rats or roaches, it was bed bugs. The police precinct was infested with bed bugs. And I might have done it in 2022. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, war y'alls, you're right. There were rats already in the building. He said the police are rats. So what's the difference? You're right. It was already rats in the building. Hmm. Well, y'all, they could have transferred those roaches and rats home. They do crawl into everything, especially the roaches. They'll get in your clothing and everywhere. They'll take that mess off and have them in their house. A friend of mine used to live in Camden, New Jersey, and she finally was able to, she had enough finances to get out of there and move into an apartment in another town. And she said when she got there, she opened up her suitcase and it was a roach right there on her clothes. She said, "Oh, hell no, hell no." She said she grabbed the suitcase and took it outside and unpacked her clothes out there just to make sure nothing would end up in her new apartment. I said, he was just trying to move with you. What are you talking about? Yeah, them things will try to travel with you. That's the thing. You can't tell me none of those police cars didn't have them. I bet you they did. I bet you the squad cars had those roaches in there too. But yeah, I said that roach was looking for a better place to live too. What you talking? She said she had a fit. She took that whole suitcase outside and just unpacked outside because she was like, if there was another one in there, she was going to make sure it did not end up in her apartment. Thank you, Bren J, for becoming a new member. I mean, those things will happen. Mm-mm-mm. It sounds to me like they did not do a very good job in the upkeep of that building in order for it to be dilapidated. They didn't do good with the upkeep of it. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, wouldn't it they're going to a new location. So wouldn't some of those roaches be coming along? I'm just saying. They may hitch a ride over there with them. The best thing for them to do is just leave all of the old furnishings and everything in there and just move and get everything brand new. That is what I would do. I don't think I would try to pack up anything. I'm sure you got to take the files and things like that. Um, especially certain kind of information that they have in there on suspects, they're going to have to take that. But a lot of the physical furniture, I probably would not even take it. I would just leave it right in that building and just get all new furnishings. Mhm. Yeah. You know, but that was funny. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Armageddon, you might have a point. They may take the furnishings and move it in, because the roaches and mice may be inside of the furnishings. Especially rats, they will burrow themselves inside of couches and stuff. You got to be real careful with that. Mhm. Paper, electronics, anything they can get behind, really. They like to hide. Mhm. Wow. So, y'all, I'm not going to keep you any longer. Thank you for being here. And let me see, I see three here. So, Miss Kim, thank you for becoming a new member. Saone Dixon, thank you for becoming a new member. And Bren J, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, everybody, be on the lookout for my next live stream and my videos that will be coming out tomorrow. Shalom, family.